Good morning, everyone. आवाज आ रही है. So welcome to you all on Exampur IAS English medium, and today we are going to discuss the left part of the wind section, and then the further topic would be the cyclone. So I will try my best to complete these two topics today. So till permanent winds we have completed in the last class, and today we are going to discuss about the seasonal winds, and in which we have completed the monsoonal winds, and today we will start with the land breeze or a sea breeze. Okay, land breeze or sea breeze we are going to discuss firstly. Okay, let me check your comments. So join fastly everyone, and then we will start the topic of today's. Deepti Chaudhary, Mradul Raj, very warm welcome. Okay. So any doubt about the last class about the permanent winds? We have discussed the Coriolis force. So any ideas? Now we are going to take a land or a sea breeze today. Okay. In last class we have discussed the what are winds, how do we winds originate, what are the classification and types. Yes, we have completed, and the weather vane and the weathercock, which is the instrument by which we can measure the wind directions, and the permanent winds, trade winds, westerlies. We have completed roaring 40s, furious 50s. Okay. And now we are going to start today's topic of the land breeze or a sea breeze. So make a heading. In seasonal winds, the main heading is the seasonal winds. The second number. The first type was the monsoon winds, which we have discussed earlier, and today we are going to discuss what? The land breeze or a sea breeze. Sea breeze and land breeze. In Hindi it is called the Sagar Sameer and Asal Sameer. Okay. Okay. So first of all, what do you think about a land or a sea breeze? When a warm and a moist winds comes from the oceanic region or a water body, that is referred as a sea breeze. But how the sea breeze originates, and it changes periodically according to the day and night, and these are the winds of the coastal regions. Okay. So these the day and breeze and the sea breeze changes periodically with the day and the time, and these affected the region of the coastal regions. So let's see. Here you can see the land region, and here it is the sea region. What about the differential heating of these two regions? The one is the sea region or a sea surface, another one is a land surface. So you see the land surface is a opaque body. This one is a opaque body. In Hindi it is so called the apardarshi. The sun rays cannot penetrate in the depth of this region, but while you can see the sun rays can penetrate till 200 meter in the depth of ocean, and it has to warm the depth of 200 meter region of the oceans. So it will take time, and there is also a movements of oceanic water as a oceanic current. So in daytime, this one having a 27 degrees Celsius temperature only at daytime over the surface of the ocean. But at daytime, when the sun is overhead at the surface, this region will become rapidly warm or hot, because of this one is the opaque body. So the sun rays has to warm the surface of the upper layer of the Earth's surface only. So this will become a rapidly warm, and so the surrounding region of air becomes warm also because of the conduction process we have discussed earlier. By the conduction process, the heat transfer from one layer to another layer. So the heat transfer from surface to the surrounding air by the conduction process, and air becomes warm. And when the air becomes warm, it will raises above. Okay, and it creates a low pressure at this region. It creates a low pressure at this region. While we can see that there is a relatively low temperature over the surface of the oceanic water. So here it is the temperature of 40 degrees Celsius, and there is a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. So relatively this place having a high pressure zone because of the low pressure, and this region having a low pressure because of the high temperature. And you know, in last class we have got the ideas how the winds originates, how the winds blows. So winds blows from high pressure to low pressure. And the winds blows from high pressure, low pressure. This one is sea breeze. This one is sea breeze, which blows from surface of oceanic water from the to the land area. Okay. And this one is the warm and moist because it comes from the oceanic region. So this is warm and moist air. Okay, you can see this in a next figure. Like you see here. Here it is a oceanic region. This one is the land area. So this will become hot because of the opaque body. Sun rays cannot penetrate in the depth of this region. But in this region, sun rays can reach to the depth of 200 meter. And thus the upper areas will take more time to become warm, and therefore this region becomes a high pressure. This will become a high pressure zone, and here becomes a low pressure zone because of the hot air and the relatively cold air. And so the sea breeze blows from sea to land at daytime. At daytime. So we have to write down some sentences also, like this. Sea breeze blows at daytime from sea to land. From sea to land. And it blows at about evening time. ठीक है, तो at which time it blows? At evening time. Because the first of all, the differential temperature will create the high pressure and low pressure at these two regions, and then the winds blows. So firstly, the temperature becomes warm over the land area and relatively colder over the oceanic region, and then at the evening time, the winds or a sea breeze blows from sea to land area. Okay. So you can write down such sentences also, which I have just explained. The land and sea absorb and transfer heat differently. You can write down these sentences also. The land and sea absorb and transfer heat differently. During the day, land heats up faster during the day, land heats up faster and becomes warmer than the sea, and becomes warmer than the sea. Over the land, the air raises, giving rise to a low pressure area. Over the land, the air raises, giving rise to a low pressure area, whereas the sea is relatively cool and the pressure over seas is relatively high. Okay. Thus a pressure gradient from sea to land is created, and the wind blows from the sea to the land region as the sea breeze. No, it is the general phenomenon, Mradul. Okay, it happens daily. This is not climatic concern. This is weather phenomena, daily phenomena, in which you can see the land area becomes a low pressure zone in a day region. Relatively, the oceanic surface region becomes a cool and relatively high pressure is there. So that is the daily phenomena. It is not affected by the CO2, increases of CO2 gases and climate change. Okay. So that is all about the, you can see about the sea breeze. Also, now we are coming for in the night. In the night, what you see? So in the night, the reversal of condition takes place. In the night, the reversal of conditions takes place. That means what? The land loses heat rapidly also as the terrestrial radiation. As a terrestrial radiation in the long waves. So land loses heat faster and becomes cooler than the sea. And then in the night time, you see, it becomes a temperature of 17 degrees Celsius. And here, difference of days and night temperature over the surface of the ocean is only the 1 degree Celsius. You must remember this twin. The difference of days and night temperature over the oceanic surface is only 1 degree Celsius. When at daytime it was 27 degrees Celsius, at night time it will become 26 degrees Celsius. So here you can see that this land area releases heat quickly or rapidly as a form of terrestrial radiation from evening to night. So it will become a colder zone. It releases the whole heat comes from the sun, and so it will become a high pressure zone. And because of the relatively warmer this surface, this will become a low pressure zone. And you see the winds blows from high pressure to low pressure. And this time, this one is the land breeze. And this time, this one is the land breeze. So in the night time, you can see the pressure gradient is from the land to the sea. Pressure gradient is from the land to the sea. Land having a higher pressure and the oceanic surface having the lower pressure. And so the winds blows from the land to the sea. And when it blows from land to sea, so this will become a dry. This breeze becomes a dry. In UPSC, sometimes a question demands at which time fishermen will go to fishing in oceanic region. So that is the morning time. So this winds blows at morning time. These winds blows at morning time. So with the help of these land breeze, fishermen can go into the oceanic region. Okay. And when it comes back to the coastal region, fishermen, when it returns to their homes, so it would be the evening time. In evening time. In evening time, fishermen can return to their home because you see there is a force from sea to land. So the winds blows or a breeze blows from sea to land. So due to effect of these breezes, these fishermen can reach to their coastal areas or their home. Okay. Welcome, Prince. So that is all about the land or a valley breeze. Oh, sorry, land or a surface breeze, sea breeze. Next, we are coming for the one more point. You can see here we have given you sentences. The periodicity of land and sea breeze change according to day and night, and these are winds of coastal regions. The land and sea, what I said, that is written here. The land and sea absorbs and transfer heat differently. During the day, the land heats up faster and becomes warmer than the sea. Over the land, the air rises, giving rise to a low pressure area, whereas the sea is relatively cool and the pressure over sea is relatively high. Thus, a pressure gradient from sea to land is created and the winds blows from the sea to the land as the sea breeze. So that is about the land breeze. And here it is the sea breeze. Okay, in the night, the reversal of condition takes place. The land loses heat faster and is cooler than the sea. The pressure gradient is from the land to the sea and hence the land breeze results. Okay. Next, we are coming for the mountain and valley breeze. Now you see these regions are the mountain and here it is the valley. Here it is the valley. So at which time the valley breeze will blow or at which time the mountain breeze will blow. Now we are going to discuss. And which breezes are considered as the anabatic or a catabatic winds. So that is also the most important thing about the anabatic and catabatic, the cold one and the warm one. So now take a notes. You see here, first of all, at daytime, you see the both regions are getting warm. Okay, but because of this, the forested region, this will become hot quickly relatively to the upper part of the mountain region. So you see about the valley breeze, warm valley is there, cooler air overhead. Okay, and the low pressure in valley causes winds to flow upward. When this side will become a warmer, it become a low pressure zone. And when it becomes a low pressure zone, the valley breeze blows from slopes of the mountain at both sides. Valley breeze blows from valley to mountain, from slopes. Okay. So just because of this, air becomes warm and it will raises with the slopes. At the night time, you see this area will become slightly warm air is there. But at this zone, the surface releases soon. Surface temperature will releases soon by the albedo, and just because of the albedo, the temperature reduces and becomes the temperature till the minus or 0 degrees Celsius or becomes a cool air there. Now you see the cool air is there and cool air becomes a heavier or a heavy, and because of the gravitational force, this will comes down. This will comes down to the valley. So now the breeze blows from mountain to valley. Now the breeze blows from mountain to valley. So here you can see about the mountain breeze, the cool valley, warmer air overhead, it will creates also a inversion of temperature. How? Let's see. I'm giving an example. How the inversion of temperature happens in valley region. So here it is valley. Here it is the peak of the mountains or the hills. These are the peak of the mountains and these are the slopes. Here it is the slopes and this is the valley in between these two ranges. Okay. Now you see at night time, the valley areas, because of the forested area, it reduces temperature by the terrestrial radiation, but still there is a warmer air. Still there is a warmer air. Okay. But those warmer air is not so much high. They can't generate the low pressure there. And at this region of the peaks area, by the albedo, this region becomes a colder, and so the air becomes cold here. Air becomes cold at both sides. And cold air becomes heavier, and because of the gravitational force, it will subsidized into the valley region. And now the winds coming to this way. Let's see. Now you see the warmer air was uplifted by these colder breeze. So these colder breeze will comes into valley area and the warmer air uplifts above. This one is warm air. So that's why in the valley area you see the fog will generate. पाला नाम सुनेगा, frost, fog, frost will generate here. Okay, and that's why the warmer air uplifts, and that's why the cultivation of crops happens on the slopes of the hills, because there is a warmer air, and in the valley region there is a frost. Okay, there is a formation of fog. So this is the inversion of temperature. This is inversion of temperature happening in valley region. Inversion of temperature happens in valley region. You can see the cold air nearby to the surface and warmer air is in the upside. So whenever in this region, when you go from surface to upper layer, the temperature firstly increases and then slightly it will decreases with the altitude. So that is all about the mountain or valley breeze. And one more things I want to explain here. Mountain and valley breeze. Just write down 1 or 2 points. Or I have mentioned it or not. Okay, there is a point. Let's see. Valley breeze. Valley breeze. In mountains during the day, the slopes get heated up and air moves upwards, and the air from the valley blows up to the valley to fill the resulting gap. This winds is known as the valley breeze, and it is also called the Catabatic winds. So the valley breeze is called the anabatic winds because during the day the slopes get heated up and air moves upwards, and the air from the valley blows up to the valley to fill the resulting gap. Okay, so this valley breeze is also called what? It is also called anabatic winds. Anabatic winds, which one is warm winds. This is warm winds. Okay, anabatic winds is the warm winds. Here it is, warm winds. Let's see the mountain breeze. Now you see the mountain breeze is there. So what I have explained, in the night time, you see this area becomes a colder. So the air becomes cold, and because of the heavy in nature or a gravitational force, this will moves down. So here it is, during the night the slopes get cooled and the dense air descends into the valley as the mountain winds, simply. as the mountain winds. The cool air from mountains draining into the valley is called what? So it is called Catabatic winds, and it is what? So it is cold and dry. This winds is cold and dry winds. So the Catabatic winds is cold and dry winds. Okay, Catabatic winds is cold and dry winds. Is it clear or not? Prince, Mradul, Deepti. I can also give an example about the adiabatic process occurs in the leeward side of the mountainous region. Like you see sometimes there is a like this. This one is the oceanic surface, ocean, and the winds is coming to this way. This one is warm and moist. This one is warm and moist because it comes from oceanic surface. When it collides with the mountain, due to the trigger effects, the air rises above, and because of the condensation process, the clouds will form at this region, and then you see the precipitation occurs in the windward side of this region. This side is called what? The windward side. Okay, where the rainfall occurs at this region, rainfall occurs because the warm and moist air, when collides with the mountain, because of the trigger effect, air rises above, and due to condensation process, the clouds will form, and then the precipitation or a rainfall occurs in the windward sides. Okay, but when these air rises above and reach to the top of the mountain, it will becomes the cold air. It will becomes the cold air, and now it is descending because of heavier in nature and the gravitational force. So when this cold air is coming down to the surface region, there will be compression between the air molecules, and so this cold air, due to the adiabatic process, it becomes warm because it is compressed. So it will become so warm when it reaches to the surface region. It is so much warm that it can melt down the snow surface over this region. So an example you can take Chinook. Chinook winds which blows at the eastern slopes of Rocky Mountain, which melts the snow-covered region of the prairies of USA in winter season. And so the Great Plains will be able to cultivation of wheat cultivation in the spring season. Okay, so by the adiabatic process, or simply this side is a leeward side. The firstly you can mention a leeward side. So at the leeward side, rainfall cannot occur. The first of all, make such point, rainfall cannot occur at leeward side. Just because of the adiabatic process, the cold air becomes the warm when it reaches to the earth's surface. Or even the dry air may melt down the snow in a short time. Okay. So, is it clear, Mradul, Dipti, Prince? When the air descends the leeward side of the slope, the dry air gets warmed up by the adiabatic process, and this dry air may melt the snow of that region in a short time. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the third types of winds, that is the tertiary or a local winds. Tertiary or a local winds. So now we are going for the tertiary or a local winds. This one is the third type of winds. The first one was the permanent, second one was the seasonal, secondary, and the third one is the tertiary or a local winds. So these are the types of winds blowing in a particular locality. There is a fixed region at which these winds blows. Secondly, the local differences in temperature and pressure produces the local winds. So how it originates? It's just because of the locally there is a differentiate between or a differential heating region. Okay, that creates a different places having a different temperature and different pressure, and so the local winds forms between the some regions. Such type of wind is local in extent, that means the extension, vistar, and are confined to the lowest levels of the troposphere. So it blows in the lower region of the layer, like a troposphere, like a troposphere. So now you see in troposphere the westerlies winds blows at this height, but the local winds blows at nearby to the surface. Always remember, local winds blows at nearby to the surface, while the permanent winds blows at some height. And also there is a jet stream which blows above 8 km to 14 km from the Earth's surface. Okay. Exactly, Mradul Raj. Like I want to explain one thing here more. That's like suppose this mountain is Western Ghat. Suppose this mountain is Western Ghat. If we suppose a mountain is Western Ghat. So Western Ghat, the west slopes of Western Ghat receives rainfall, while the eastern slopes of Western Ghat doesn't receive rainfall, because this region becomes a rain shadow zone. This region becomes a rain shadow zone. Rainfall cannot occur in the leeward side of the mountain. When the air descends, because of the air molecules are compressing, so air becomes warmer by the adiabatic process. About the adiabatic process, the air warms by the rate of 10 degrees Celsius per 1000 meter. 10 degrees Celsius per 1000 meter. Okay. Mradul. Now, so this is about the tertiary local winds, having some examples of these local winds. Examples से questions बनते हैं यहाँ पर, ध्यान देंगे. These are the examples of local winds. First one is the Chinook snow eaters. Chinook, that is also called the snow eaters. It blows on the eastern slopes of Rocky Mountain. Where? Eastern slopes of Rocky Mountain. Phone, it is hot and dry and blows on the Alps mountain. Take. It helps in the production of citrus fruits. Okay. Next comes in. It is in Egypt. Circo, hot moist Sahara to the Mediterranean Sea. Soleno, hot moist Sahara to the Iberian Peninsula. Harmattan, Guinea Doctor, hot dry West Asia. Okay, so these are the examples of hot winds. One more point I want to add here. The Harmattan winds is called the doctor winds. It is called the doctor winds. When it reaches to the coast of West Africa of the Nigeria, Ghana, it will lowers the humidity level there. And because these regions are nearby to the equator line, by the maximum humid region, there are several diseases happening in the human beings. So conditions is not favorable for human beings about the health. So these winds reduces the humidity level and human beings feels comfort zone when these Harmattan winds reach to their region. Okay. One more point I want to add here about the Circo. By the Circo, it produces blood rain in Italy. It produces blood rain in Italy. Okay, it produces blood rain in Italy. How? So when these dusty or having of red sandstones particles are present in the winds, and when it crosses above the Mediterranean Sea, it collects moisture and then it produces rainfall as a blood rain in Italy. Okay, so which local winds produces blood rain in Italy, that is the Circo. Which winds is referred as a doctor wind, that is the Harmattan. Which is referred as a snow eaters, that is the Chinook winds. That is the Chinook winds. Like you see here, Chinook winds, an example. Like you see, there is a moist air and there is rainfall also. Rainfall occurs because of the clouds forms. But whenever you see the air descends with the slopes of the eastern slopes of Rocky Mountain, you see the air becomes warmer because of the adiabatic process. Air will heated by the 10 degrees Celsius per 1000 meter. And because of the compressional heating, the air becomes drier or warmer and it will melt down the snow present in the winter season in this region. That is the leeward side of the Rocky Mountain. Here it is the east slopes. This one is the east slopes. So that's why by the impact of Chinook winds, the cultivators of US and Canada can grow the wheat cultivation in a spring season. One more point, always remember, it will melt down the snow. It will melt down the snow. So the cultivators of US and Canada both cultivators of US and Canada can grow wheat in a spring season. In a spring season. ओके जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं बसंतकालीन गेहूं की खेती करना, आया हुआ यूपीएससी आईएएस का क्वेश्चन है ये आईएएस का आया हुआ क्वेश्चन है प्रीलिम्स में. ठीक, कैसे होता है? तो बिकॉज द चिनूक विंड्स मेल्ट डाउन द स्नो प्रेजेंट इन द ईस्टर्न साइड ऑफ द रॉकी माउंटेन. ओके, Now again, come to the next one is the Lu. Lu. It is also the hot and dry winds, blows in the North India and Pakistan. At right now you can see the Lu blows in the northern region. Then the nor'wester, it is hot winds, blows in New Zealand. Then you see the Santa Ana, it is also the hot winds, blows in South California. Then there is a Kara Buran, black storm is called hot and dusty, blows in Central Asia. Okay, blows in Central Asia. Then you see the Bora. Now there is a local winds of cold. Take, so Bora is cold and dry, blows from Hungary to North Italy. Mistral, it is cold at the Alps and the France. It blows in the Alps in the France in the Rhone River Valley. Rhone River Valley is another one. Rhone River Valley, Mistral. Next is the Pampro. Pampro is also cold and it blows in Argentina. Okay, so these are the local winds which blows locally. Someone is warm, someone is cold. Some other cold winds are blizzard. It blows in a polar region or tundra region. Then you see the Purga. It is also the cold winds, blows in Russia. And then you see the Levanter, the cold winds blows in Spain. So these are the cold winds. The questions can arise from these given winds. So remember it. Okay, you can write down these, or you can download our PDF from Exampur official application. There is a segment of free PDF. There you can go and must search in a Exampur IAS English medium. There you can find out these PDFs. So this is all about the local winds, and the last point about the winds, here it is. Like you are seeing here. Okay, Kumar Nitish. Very nice, brother. The wind system causes the evolution of various landforms on the Earth's surface, as it is the main geomorphic agent shaping various landforms. In the land topography, in physical geography, you will see there is a formation of Jugain, Yardang, and that is formed by the winds activity. So that's why I have given this sentence also. I have posted PDF in a group, or I think you must visit our Exampur official application, Nitish. There is a free PDF segment. Okay, there is a free PDF segment in which you will have to search for the Exampur IAS English medium, and then you will see our PDF is there. Search it again. If you not find, I will consider to the Deepak. Next. So next one is, we are going to take a topic of cyclone. Cyclone. Cyclone is of two types. The first one is the tropical cyclone. Second one is temperate cyclone. Temperate cyclone is nothing, only the fronts, affected by the fronts. Okay. So today we are going to discuss tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone, how it forms, where it originates, what about the condition or a favorable condition to formation of tropical cyclone, what are the kind of or types of cyclone, the impact of cyclone, characteristics of cyclone. There is a eye of cyclone and the 3D-dimensional activity of cyclone. Okay, so first of all, we are going to discuss the definition of tropical cyclone. Okay, we are going to discuss first of all definition of tropical cyclone. So write down the sentence first of all, then we will go for the concept. The first one is, Mradul, Nitish, is it clear? It is cyclic movement of winds. About the definition, you should must write. It is cyclic movement of winds which having low pressure at center, and increasingly high pressure outwards. So winds blows from outer area to inner circle. So winds blows from outer area to inner circle. Okay, so winds blows from outer area to inner circle. Like this. In the inner circle there is a low pressure, and outside there is a gradually increasing of high pressure. And you see high pressure is outside, and in the inner circle there is a low pressure. The winds blows from high pressure to low pressure in a cyclic way. So this one is cyclone or a tropical cyclone. What about the shape of it? The shape is circular. You can see the shape is circular. Now, what about the diameter? So diameter is 30 to 300 kilometer. What about the speed? 40 to 180 kilometer per hour, the average speed is there. Now what do you think about the area where the tropical cyclone can originate? Okay, so now we are going for the area in which tropical cyclone can originate. So let's see, here it is 0 degree equator line. There is a 5 degree north latitude and the 5 degree south latitude. And also there is a 30 degree north latitude and the 30 degree south latitude. Tropical cyclone can found within the 5 to 30 degree north latitude. So the area is 5 degree north or south to 30 degree north or south. Why? Because these regions are ITCZ where full year rainfall occurs. Okay, there the full year rainfall occurs. Now you see in this region, there is a low pressure zone at center of the cyclone and high pressure zone at this side, and the winds blows from high pressure to low pressure. Winds blows from high pressure to low pressure. Now you see there is a trade winds. These are the trade winds. And just because of the impact of trade winds, the direction of tropical cyclone in northern hemisphere is anti-clockwise. See, direction becomes like this, anti-clockwise. Direction in northern hemisphere, anti-clockwise, and in southern hemisphere, clockwise. Like this. And in southern hemisphere, clockwise. So the direction of tropical cyclone depends on what? Depends on trade winds. Direction of tropical cyclone, it depends on trade winds. Okay. And some more points we have to add. Cyclone cannot form in ITCZ or doldrum, because there is a lack of Coriolis force and also there is full year rainfall. Okay. Then one more point. Is it clear? Mradul, Nitish. Where is Saurabh? So today we have completed the winds topic and started the cyclone, and we'll try to complete cyclone today. So in the further class we will take some another topic or come with the questions. Mradul has mentioned the wind southern hemisphere it is clockwise, northern it is anti-clockwise. So Mradul, we have discussed the direction of the the trade winds. Now you see the direction of the trade winds. So this one is cyclone and the trade winds blows from this side. देखिए, south east to northwest in southern hemisphere. So when it blows from where? 30 to 35 degree high pressure zone, subtropical high pressure. Here is it 30 degrees south, here it is 35 degrees south, and cyclone forms in this region. So when these winds blows southeast to northwest, so it will circulate the cyclone from this side. See, is it clear, Mardul? Ki why in southern hemisphere the tropical cyclone having a clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. So direction depends on. Also, you have to write down the direction of cyclone depends on trade winds. Rahul, welcome, bro. Okay. Very nice. Concept should be clear, Mradul. The most important thing about the study of geography, your concept clarity should be clear. Okay. Now another point. How tropical storms are formed. In this figure you can see how tropical storms are formed. Here one more thing I want to add. First of all, tropical cyclone can only originate over the surface of the ocean. Write down one more point. Tropical cyclone can only originate over the surface of the ocean. Firstly, it forms as the depression. So cyclone is what? Cyclone is in an initial stage, it is depression. It is constant place of low pressure. Okay, so cyclone is what? Initial stage, it is depression. A cyclone can only originate, tropical cyclone can only originate above the surface of ocean or sea. Only the surface of ocean or sea. Amisa. It's all your efforts, sister. Okay. I'm trying my best to explain the whole things in English because you all guys are from English medium. You have to write, you have to think, you have to explain, you have to deliver in English medium. Whenever you will appear for interview, you have to speak in English. They will not give you more time to first think and then produce. Okay. So this point should also remember. Okay. Now we are going to see, let's see the tropical cyclone. Here it is. You can see there is a eye. It is the eye of cyclone where the cold air subsidized and it will increase the temperature at this region and stops the rainfall. Like see, this is the direction of the cyclone. Like see, this is the direction of the cyclone. What about the clouds? The clouds is cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus clouds. So firstly, it was developed as a depression in which the frequent vaporization occurs at the surface of the ocean or seas. And then you see the clouds has formed. And you see there is a low clouds at this part, then the high clouds at this part, and the maximum height annual head is this point. So first this cloud will come, then this cloud, then this cloud, then. Okay. So firstly, when these low clouds will come, so low rainfall will occurs. What you see here? Low rainfall. When these clouds will come, high rainfall will occurs. When the maximum height of clouds will come, the maximum rainfall will occurs. But after that, there is a zone of eye of cyclone. And at this zone, the cold air subsidized here in a decent way. And so at this part, the eye of cyclone doesn't produces rainfall. Eye of cyclone doesn't produces rainfall, so there is a no rainfall. There is no rainfall. Then again you see there is a maximum rainfall, then the high rainfall, and then the low rainfall, and the cyclone has finished. So in the center region of the cyclone or a eye of cyclone, rainfall cannot occur because of the subsidence of cold air. Okay. And every cell, this question has arisen in the 2019 or 20 UPSC IAS. Every cell of tropical cyclone produces rainfall except the eye of cyclone. Except the eye of cyclone. Is it clear or not? Amisa, Mradul, Rahul, Nitish. In this figure, you can also see. Now see. What I have said, कि there is a descending air. When the clouds becomes very high, so just because of the cold air is there, the cold air will subsidize at this region. So the descending air will clear the warmer section and it won't produces the rainfall in the eye of cyclone. And here it is the eye wall. This one is the eye wall. This one is so called what? Eye wall. This is eye wall. And here it is the eye of cyclone. This one is eye of cyclone. So like see, eye and the eye wall in this figure. And here it is the cyclone, the tropical cyclone, top view. You can see the top view of this region. So in the eye region, you can see there is a lack of clouds. There is a lack of clouds. You can find the clouds, and also you won't find the rainfall happening in a eye of cyclone region. Why is such happening? Because of the descending air is there. Or when air is descending, it will compressed and it will becomes warmer. Because of the compressional air molecules having compression, so it will becomes warmer. Soumya Sekhar, very warm welcome, brother. Okay, Soumya is there. Warm welcome. Okay, so in this figure you can also see there is a spiral rain bands are there and the producing the rainfall. So there you can see the low rainfall is happening. Low rainfall is happening, and then you see the maximum rainfall occurs, and in this region rainfall cannot occurs, and then again the rainfall decreasing. Okay. Now we are coming for the types of cyclone. So here you can see the world distribution of cyclone or tropical cyclone. World distribution of tropical cyclone. These are the regions or tropical cyclone. This will occur only in the tropical region. So you can see in this region. I am giving you an examples of types of cyclone. Okay, you can see in April, Jan, typhoons occurs in the Pacific region of the China Sea. Then tropical cyclone occurs in the Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea and also the south region. And then you see hurricanes. It is rare in South Atlantic. It is rare in South Atlantic, also missing in the Pacific, South Pacific. Australia, the northern Australian region also having impact by the tropical cyclone. Okay, I am giving you types of cyclone. Let's see. Types of cyclone. The first one is, what are the name of cyclone? So cyclone name has given in the Indian Ocean. Given in the Indian Ocean. Then next one is the typhoon. So typhoon occurs in China Sea. There is a name of a typhoon. So typhoon occurs in Japan. Next one is the Baguio. So Baguio occurs in Philippines. Next one is Willy Willy. Willy Willy, it is in Australia. These are the name of the cyclone, occurs in several regions of the world. And then you see the hurricane. Hurricane occurs in Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, both. Now, I'm going to explain what Soumya has mentioned. Let's see. Soumya has asked why the tropical cyclone only originate above the surface of the ocean or sea. Is it, Soumya? So, it just because there is a only 1 degree Celsius temperature difference between the days and the nights above the surface of the ocean or sea. At daytime, you see the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. At night time, you see the temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. So the difference of days and nights temperature is only 1 degree Celsius above the ocean surface. So this will becomes warm all the time. While you see above the land region at daytime temperature reach the 40 degrees Celsius, at night time temperature reduces to the 17 degrees Celsius. So there is a variation of temperature above the land surface. So here always low pressure cannot sustain. Okay, and also these water bodies by the temperature in a particular time, you see the vaporization or evaporation occurs whole time. Why cyclone always takes place in the western part of mostly the western part of ocean? It's just because of the trade winds. Whatever direction of the trade winds, just explain. Trade winds blows from southeast to northwest or northeast to southwest. Okay, so this is all about why the tropical cyclone cannot form above the land surface. It only occurs above the ocean surface. And what Soumya has asked again, like a tropical cyclone formed in this way or tropical cyclone formed in this way. So it will move this way, na? It will move this way. So at Bay of Bengal region, you can see there is an impact of western side, and this is having an impact of Arabian Peninsula. Somehow Gujarat and Maharashtra affected by the tropical cyclone. So just because of the trade winds direction, okay, trade winds direction, it always takes place in the western part of ocean and the eastern side of continent, both eastern side of continent, western side of ocean. Is it clear, Soumya? Due to the effect of tropical cyclone, due to the effect of trade winds. Because of trade winds. Okay. Then the types of cyclone again, the hurricane. One more I want to add here, that's the tornado. Tornado. How the tornado forms, where it forms, what about the impact, what about the features? Let's going to have such information. Tornado, the first of all. It originates by the collision of two different air masses. It originates by the collision of two different air masses. An example, westerlies and polar winds. Westerlies and polar winds. It can form above both land and ocean surface. हाँ, it can either, ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, it can either formed above the land or ocean surface. Okay, like say, so my class will run on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. In every week, we will come with some questions also very soon. So now we see it has formed in a water spout, and this one is tornado. Both phenomena are same. It's having a funnel shape. It is a zone of intense low pressure. Wherever it will reaches, it will open the closed bottle. Everything having suspended in air. So, most destructive cyclone is this. Most destructive cyclone, it can achieve the speed till 500 to 600 km per hour. And the average speed is the 320 km per hour. Okay. What about the area? So area is USA. In USA, you can find it Oklahoma, Texas, Florida. These are the states where you can find out the tornado. Okay. Yeah, Amisa, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My class time is 11 to 1 a.m. And earlier we have discussed the composition, structure of atmosphere, and the air pressure, insolation, albedo, inversion of temperature, factors controlling the temperature also, and air pressure belt, then the winds. Now we are discussing the cyclone. So is it clear about the tornado? USA, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, how it forms and where it forms, both should be clear about their shape, about their speed, most destructive cyclone, and why it is tilted in the middle part or a lower region. So it happens because of the trade winds. It happens because of the trade winds. Okay. Is it clear? So because of the direction of trade winds, it also moves from east to west. These tropical cyclone, and always the tropical cyclone will move to the east to west, not to the west to east. ठीक है, because it is having an impact by the trade winds. Like you can see, all tropical cyclones moves from east to west. Where? East to west. This side is east, east to west. So what the Soumya has asked, in this figure it has also explained that the western part of the ocean is affected by the tropical cyclone because of the trade winds direction. Okay. Is it clear? Crystal clear, Sarji. Mridul Raj. That's good, brother. देखिए, चीज़ें समझ में आनी चाहिए आपको. मेन चीज़ यही है. अगर आपको चीज़ें समझ में आ रही है तो आप इसको फॉरवर्ड कर सकते हैं अपने फ्रेंड सर्किल में जो भी इंग्लिश मीडियम के होंगे. हिंदी मीडियम वालों को शेयर नहीं करना है. मेरे पास भी जितने बच्चे हैं मैक्सिमम सब तो हिंदी मीडियम वाले ही होते हैं. इंग्लिश मीडियम वाले बच्चे कम हैं. तो लेकिन ये क्लासेस जब हमने सोचा है कि इट इज़ टोटली ओरिएंटेड फॉर द इंग्लिश मीडियम, then we have to deliver in English, and you should also understand and try to understand in English. Okay. अगर आप कभी अच्छे कोचिंग में जाएंगे, आप अगर किसी इंग्लिश मीडियम के प्रॉपर कोचिंग में जाएंगे तो टीचर कोई भी आपको एक भी शब्द हिंदी के नहीं बोलेगा, सब इंग्लिश में चलता है. ठीक है. तो also I am trying my best to explain these concepts in English. Hope you all are getting. Are you getting me? Not. You should must explain answer to me. You all are getting me or not? Anisa, Shobhit, Mradul. Okay. वन मोर पॉइंट जो लास्ट में मैंने ऐड किया था, लिख के जो रखिएगा कि इट इज लीन इन द हाई एल्टीट्यूड बिकॉज ऑफ ट्रेड विंड्स. ओके, वो लिखा होना चाहिए. ओके, नाउ वी आर कमिंग फॉर द एंटीसाइक्लोन. Anticyclone. Very nice, Amisa. So, what about the anticyclone? So now you see in anticyclone, a high pressure is at center and a low pressure is a decreasing low pressure outside, and so the winds blows from inner circle to outer area. Okay, and this will also affected by trade winds. So like you see, this time the winds blows from like this. So the direction of anticyclone in north hemisphere, it is clockwise. In south hemisphere, it is anti-clockwise. Okay, what is anticyclone? So it is cyclic movement of winds. It is cyclic movements of winds which having high pressure at center and decreasingly low pressure outwards. So winds blows from inner circle to outer area. So that is the definition of the anticyclone. It is always behind the tropical cyclone. It won't found behind the temperate cyclone. So only one, it is only one, ध्यान में रखिएगा, it only behind the tropical cyclone. It is only behind the tropical cyclone. Okay, it is only behind the tropical cyclone. Soumya, clear hai? Very nice. So the direction has changed from the tropical cyclone to the anticyclone. So in anticyclone, direction is clockwise in northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in southern hemisphere. And why it occurs? Again, the impact of trade winds. Again, the impact of trade winds. Okay. Then, like in tropical cyclone, there was a formation of the cumulonimbus clouds and the heavy rainfall occurs. Thundering lightning occurs in tropical cyclone. Write down these things, then I will use one more slide. And it will also not happen in the ITCZ region because this is full year rainfall region. Like see, there is a tropical cyclone. What about the weather phenomena? Weather phenomena about the tropical cyclone and the anticyclone. So in tropical cyclone, you see cumulonimbus clouds, high clouds say, high extent clouds, heavy rainfall, thundering lightning, hailstorm, weather becomes unstable. Weather becomes unstable. And in anticyclone zone, weather becomes stable. No clouds, no rainfall. Okay. So is it clear now? Amisa Saxena. It's all your efforts, sister. अपना क्या है, सब मोह माया है. सो आपको समझ में आया? दैट्स गुड. आई एम ऑल्सो इम्प्रूविंग माई presentations and spoken English. So this is best for me to, Vivek sir has given this opportunity to me to teach in English medium, and as of my concern, I am trying my best. So this is about the cyclone, what I have read. Any doubt from your side, you can ask to me any kind of doubts from the last 2 or 3, 4 topics. Okay. कोई भी डाउट हो आप पूछ सकते हैं मुझसे. eye wall, everything should be clear. They are the spiral rand bands in the thunderstorms. You can use the thunderstorms word here. थंडरिंग को हम लोग thunderstorms भी कर सकते हैं. No doubt. Okay, that's good, Mradul. Okay. तो आज के टॉपिक को यहीं तक रखते हैं और फिर वी विल मीट टुमारो, और नो टुमारो वी विल मीट ऑन मंडे मॉर्निंग 11 AM एंड मंडे ट्यूसडे वेंसडे 3 दिन मेरी क्लास आपको चलती है, तीनों दिन चलेगी. और इफ़ यू लाइक इट देन कुछ लोगों में आप शेयर भी कर सकते हैं कि हाँ इस टाइम में मेरी क्लास चलती है, सही बच्चे और भी जुड़ सकते हैं, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फ़ायदा ले सकते हैं. एंड ट्राई टू थिंक and write in English, not translate. Every time you can't translate from Hindi. कि हमने सोचा हिंदी में ये फिर उसको ऐसे बोला. Just think it, just speak. आपको बोलना पड़ेगा इंग्लिश, ठीक है. अगर आप इंग्लिश मीडियम से हैं तो आपका इंटरव्यू भी इंग्लिश मीडियम में ही होगा, ठीक है. तो आपकी फ्लुएंसी होनी चाहिए. And nowadays I am conducting interview of some students who is going to appear in a BPSC interview or a JPSC interview, and they are so good in English, very fluent. So that's the appreciable things. And when you communicate with someone, your words should be clear, your concept should be clear. That's all. You will do rock best. So आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं, फिर आप लोगों से मुलाकात होगी मंडे में. तब तक के लिए नमस्कार, धन्यवाद. स्वस्थ रहिए, मस्त रहिए, पढ़ते रहिए, और एग्ज़ाम अगर देना है तो थोड़ा सा मेहनत कीजिए, बिल्कुल सही होगा, अच्छा होगा. सो टिल देन, गुड लक, गुड डे.